All right, what's up, guys? Friday, April the 9th, 2021. What's going on? What's going on? Chilling here on a Friday. Got a lot to get into. Got a lot to get into here on a Friday. Obviously, big news dropping 5 minutes before we go live. Absolutely insane, but here we are. Again, hope you guys are all doing well. Let's see. Just trying to reply. Yeah, we've got the site in studio, trust me. Trust me, we've got the site in studio. All right, what's going on? 843-790-3377. What's going on, guys? Real quick before we get going, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Flex Squad Fitness because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Flex Squad Fitness, guys. And CJ Profit, the man behind it all, he's been a certified personal trainer for 10 years. And, guys, the reason he's so good at what he does is because he's been there, he's done that. He struggled with his own weight for many years until he eventually lost 85 pounds himself doing the exact same type of training that he does at the gym currently, guys. And again, at Flex Squad, they do one-on-one and small group training. Their program is a mix of strength, high-intensity interval training, and endurance training. And, guys, of course, the goal is to not only help people look great on the outside, but more importantly, make them stronger and more confident on the inside. And like I said, guys, the reason he's so good at what he does, he's been there, he's done that. He's literally lost the weight. He's gone through the mental grind. He knows exactly what you're going through, and he's going to be there with you every single step of the way. Guys, the place changes people inside and out. You're not going to regret walking the door. You'll probably just wish you did it sooner. And get this, guys, right now, they offer a free week for anyone else to try out their classes or 2 free one-on-one sessions to see what they're all about. Or, guys, if you go there right now, tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. You're going to get your first month free. It's a no-brainer. If you're in Columbia, Chapin, or the state of South Carolina, it doesn't matter, and you're looking to start that fitness journey, you're looking for a new personal trainer, if you will, or a gym to go to, Flex Squad Fitness in Chapin, South Carolina is the way to go with my guy, CJ Profit. Let him take care of you. Again, that's Flex Squad Fitness in Chapin, South Carolina. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, let's go. Got a big show. We got baseball playing. Obviously, again, the big news dropping about 5 minutes before we came on live, which did not surprise me. Frank Martin is back. Frank Martin back as head coach. With no change to his buyout, by the way, which shocked me. But that is the deal. The board approved everything. There is no buyout owed Martin if he finishes the next 2 seasons and USC decides to make a move. But as it stands right now, if they fire him after next year, $6.5 million. Or if they fired him after the next season, $3 million. So no change to the buyout. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked at that news. The buyout news, very, very surprising to me. And yet again, I think Ray Tanner probably got bullied at the negotiating table, which is not something that, again, this point surprises me and is the big reason why I think that Ray Tanner, as much as I love him for what he did on the baseball field and, whatever, I'm obviously not sitting here, saying I'm a fire Ray Tanner guy. But Ray Tanner's a baseball coach. He's not a negotiator. He's not a businessman. He's not a ball buster. He's not all the things you need to be when you're in a position of power like being the athletic director. And I think that's a problem. So no reduced buyout. There is no change to the buyout. So Frank Martin will return. So I know a lot of you in this chat were really hoping that would be the result. And I'll tell you this, I'm totally fine with it. Just like I told you guys, I was right in the middle. They want to bring him back. Cool. They want to, they want to go a different direction. Cool. I'm totally fine with it. I have no issues with it. I think every man deserves a shot at redemption. And so to see him get back, is totally fine with me. But I'm just shocked that the buyout's not changed because I think the expectation should be for next season. If you don't make the NCAA tournament, there should be a change. And at $6.5 million, that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money to pay a guy. So, I just kind of wonder. What the thought process is. What are they thinking? Are they thinking seriously long term that Frank Martin's the answer? Or what do they think? So anyways, I'll take your questions, comments, everything with that, guys. Calls 843-790-3377. The phone lines are open. That's 843-790-3377. So let's see. Let's go back in the chat here and read some of your questions. I'm freaking having a bad beard day today, I think. I don't know. Actually, no, it's a great beer day. Speaking to existence. Ryan Brack, I want to touch on this. He says, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Georgia spanked Vandy. If you think there are any easy games in the SEC, you're crazy. Yeah, that was wild. 14-2. That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let's see. Phil, what's going on? Travis, what's up? HML, watching from my porch in sunny Myrtle Beach. Phil says it's currently 66 degrees and sunny in New Hampshire. That sounds really nice. Yeah, it's like 80 something here. It's 77 it says. I think that's right. 78. High of 84 today. Beautiful weather in the city this weekend. Let's see. Yeah, Frank Martin is back. Scott Stamey, what's up? Justin Langford. Yeah, the scythe, like I said, it's in the studio over there. Yeah, I've got the I pulled out the Panthers hat today. Why not? Why not? Just saw it in the closet and was like, you know what? I haven't worn this in forever. Brad Vale says, can Carolina men's basketball program please just opt out of next year's season? Justin Langford says, does a sweep seem likely this weekend going against Mizzou? And I haven't dropped my prediction graphic yet, but I'll tell you guys, I did pick a sweep for this weekend. Is it possible? Certainly. Is it likely? It's the SEC, man. Anything can happen. And, the goal is to win the series, bottom line. But this is the most sweepable series you have left. So, I think the sweep is certainly possible. South Carolina is definitely good enough at home, especially to take all three games and to beat Mizzou all three games. You take a look at the matchup with their pitching staff having a 7.15 ERA and just the issues they've had on the bump. So very doable, but you got to go out and do it. You know what I mean? It's still the SEC. You saw last night against Georgia beating Vandy 14-2. You just never know. So. Let's see. Tyrell Campbell Sr. says, so the solution to this shit season is to extend the dude that's responsible for it. I hope they know what they're doing. Maybe they know something we don't. Christopher Miller, I really hope Frank gets the team back on track. The contract extension definitely helps him with recruiting. Let's go get it next year. Phil says, Jesus, $6.5 million. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Ryan Wright with a new contract. Would it not have been cheaper to fire him now? It's a great point. It probably would not have been cheaper to fire him now and go hire a new head coach. That's what you got to think about. You got to go get a new head coach. RJ Kelly, when are you going to try to strike Wes out? That would be after the season. I definitely think we should do that, though, but it'll be after the season. Savannah Webster, yeah, Georgia beat Vanderbilt. They beat Rocker. They hit like 6 home runs last night. They won 14-2. Yeah, Rocker gave up like 6 runs last night. It was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Jacob, we've been talking about it, man. The contract extension for Frank Martin. He is back. He is back as Gamecocks head coach. Like I said, would love to take you guys' questions, comments, calls on it, everything else. Like I said, I'm cool with it. I meant every word I said throughout this entire process that, I'm right in the middle in the sense of if they wanted to make a change, then cool. You know what I mean? They wanted to make a change, cool. If they wanted to bring him back, cool. I'm down with him getting a shot at redemption. I don't mind that at all. Again, I'm just really surprised there's no change in the buyout. That's what really surprised me. But, I don't know. I really do hope and pray that they brought him back again on the terms of, hey, the expectations are to make the NCAA tournament this year. And if you do not, we're moving on. I don't give a damn what's happened to the roster. Like, it's year 10. If the expectations aren't to make the NCAA tournament in year 10, what's the point of us even tuning in? Like, why are we even spending our time watching? You know what I mean? So. J. Michael, yes, I saw Martin's 2-year extension. I literally tweeted about it. Yes, I saw it. Yes. Well, no, listen, if you're going to bring him back, they had to give him an extension. You can't recruit, sell the program. You can't do anything of the sort under a 1 year or 2 year deal. You got to be able to tell players, hey, I'm going to be here for your time. I'm going to be here for the 4 years. I mean, you got to at least make them think you're going to be there. Let's jump to the phone lines. Hey, Dirt, what's up, man?
A 1 year or 2 year deal. Not much. Just looking at your graphics for the series this weekend, and I think we're. Let me turn you down. I think we're about to see a home run rally this weekend.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. With that, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going of an over of like 8 home runs this weekend.
It'd be a fun weekend.
Yeah, I think West hits like 3, and the other 2, I forget who the other 2 that haven't hit a home run yet. They're going to get their home runs.
Yeah, so you're saying two guys in our lineup that haven't hit a home run.
Yeah.
Brennan Malone and I think Malone's the only one. Or Heinrich hasn't. Heinrich hasn't. Neither the third baseman have hit a bomb, which is funny.
Yeah, so they're going to get their home runs this weekend. And do you think there's any danger of this Saturday game getting moved because of the rain?
Not from what I've seen. I mean, I haven't really taken a close look at the weather, but I haven't heard anything. Or I'm looking now. The only thing maybe I could see them doing is moving it up, but I mean it's like 50% all day. So I mean, they'll probably they'll probably just try to play it at the time, So
yeah. And on the front line stuff, I don't normally get into basketball because I'm not really able to even comprehend the sport.
Right.
But I had thought that firing him this now gave him the $6 million buyout, and that next season it went down to like half that.
Right. Well, all I know, man, because a lot of people on Twitter ask, all I know from the Post and Courier article I saw is that there's no change to the buyout. A snippet directly from the article states, because I literally was going back and forth with a dude about it on Twitter, but it says Martin's deal had 2 years remaining and was extended to 4. His buyout, the money USC would have to pay him if it fired him without cause, did not change from the $6.5 million he'd be owed if USC removed him until next season begins, or the $3 million he'd be owed after next season. So if they fire him after next year, then it'd be $3 million. Basically the buyout situation did not change. It did not get lowered to like 100,000 like I thought it probably would, or even $1 million. So it's at $3 million after next year. I'm just still surprised it's even that much. Like they didn't change anything. That's shocking to me. That's shocking.
And I think we'll have that money because you got to remember that you had the NCAA spend their $600 million thing they had when March Madness got canceled. They were supposed to have that money to be able to give schools if they weren't able to host a tournament, and they spent it, so no one got that money. I think that's one of the reasons why you see a lot of schools not firing their coaches right now, because no one can afford to fire them and go find another coach.
Yeah, no, I mean for sure.
I think that's what you'll see. I think next season, unless we don't make the tournament for the same reason that we didn't make it, and I think it was like 16 when. We had the RPI, we had the wins, and we should have, but it just looked like the NCAA was punishing us. Unless we don't make it for that reason, then Martin's gone, and I think you'll see a huge influx of coaches available.
Yeah. I think that has to be the
I'm hoping that's what happens.
Yeah, I just to be brutally honest with you, man, as a fan, if you don't make the tournament, I don't care why, you just didn't. So if you don't make it, you don't make it. And I think if you don't, you should be fired. He should be fired. I just bottom line. So and I hate to say it, but the thing that I keep going back to is that, this team, I don't see any way this is like a fringe NCAA tournament team. I think this team's going to stink next year. I think this team's going to stink.
Yeah.
Like, just personally, I really do. So, I think we're going to probably know after after the first 5 or 6 SEC games, like, okay, season's over. Yeah, I mean, just bottom line, you know what I mean? I have no optimism on the basketball side anymore. None.
Yeah. You have to find a bunch of Cam Newtons in the
right. I mean, basketball is going to have to win me back. I'm totally fine with Martin returning, and I'm glad he's getting a shot at redemption, and I'm excited to see. But, like, they're going to have to win me back because I think I've picked him to go to the tournament like the last 3 years in a row. I'm just not doing it this year. I mean, this team's, in my opinion, this team's going to suck. I think they're going to stink. So I hope they prove me wrong and we are a tournament team. But, like, there's nothing that indicates that. The only hope that people have is Frank Martin found magic one time in 2017, and maybe, just maybe, he can get that back. But there's nothing realistically that you look at the team for next year. And I know they're utilizing the transfer portal, but, like, I mean, you had your quote unquote best roster you've had in maybe since 2017, and people were saying that roster was just as good as the Final Four group, and
nothing happened.
Right. So, I mean, why would you buy any of the bogus going into this year? You know what I mean? Like, it's very much, and I think that's how the entire fan base feels. Not like it's just a wait and see thing. You just have to be that way.
Yeah. Well, and that works out for you, because you need a break between football and baseball. So you need, that month of January where you're calmed down and not, you're done with football. You get a month to kind of relax and go, okay, we've got the Super Bowl and then it's baseball.
Right. Well, the one, and I don't care how this sounds, I'll just say it. The one positive, I'm glad Martin's back, because now I do get to be the Fire Frank Martin guy if he doesn't pan out next year. So that'll be a lot of fun. The content will be legendary. So.
Then there's another sport you won't be allowed to talk to the coach.
Yeah, I don't talk to him now anyway, so whatever. But no, I get to selfishly, get to have fun with that content. So, oh well.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be a good time.
Well, I believe I'll see you later at the game.
Yeah, I'll text you and we'll set everything up, man. We'll definitely link up.
All
so,
right. Yeah, cool.
But.
See you.
Appreciate it, Dirt. Thanks, man. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Like I said, guys, I don't care how it sounds. Selfishly, I'm excited to, next year. Now I get to, if Martin's not the guy, if he doesn't get it done, I get to be the Fire Frank Martin guy. We get to make Fire Frank Martin t-shirts. We get to go on that tirade. So whatever. Not that I dislike Frank or think we're going to be there or hope we get there, but just bottom line, you know what I mean? If you don't make the tournament in year 10, I don't see how there would be any debate within anyone from this fan base. I just don't. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's go back to the phone lines.
Justin.
Hey, Justin, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking.
Yeah, hey, Chris. I just can't believe Frank Martin getting a contest. I just can't believe it, man.
I mean, that's what I expect. I mean, listen, if you were going to bring him back, you could not have kept him on the current contract he was on. You just can't. You can't as a college coach. It's not like the NFL. As a college coach, you can't operate with anything under a 4-year contract, because then you can't recruit. You can't sell to a recruit, hey, I'm going to be here for your 4 years. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. Like, you can't do it. You have to have a 4-year deal. So I'm not shocked at all. The extension, listen, the extension means nothing. It really does. It's for appearances. That's all it is. It's again. So Frank Martin can walk in a kid's living room and say, hey, I'm going to be here. It's not because they're planning on him being there for that 4-year period. I mean, granted, if he turns it around, sure. But like, they're not doing it because, they feel like he deserved an extension. They're doing it because you got to keep up appearances with recruits and stuff like that. And again, you can't sell your status at the program if you don't have that 4-year deal. So that doesn't surprise me. Again, what surprised me was not changing the buyout up at all. I mean, I don't know if maybe because South Carolina is just like, who gives a damn? We're going to have the money. That surprised me. That really surprised me. So Because again, I think it has to be, and if it's not this, then I don't even know why we have a basketball program. It has to, I don't care what the roster did. I don't care what it looks like. It has to be going into next season. Okay, Frank, you're back. We've taken care of it all. You got to make the tournament. And if you don't, we're going to go a different direction. Bottom line. Literally bottom line. You already know we didn't really want to bring you back this year, but you just didn't take another job and whatever. I mean, again, anybody who wants to argue that, I've seen people on Twitter, they were just negotiating for over a month. Like, nah, bro, I don't think so. I think Tanner and Castlin and everybody was hoping he would take another job. I think that's what it was. They were kind of waiting it out as long as they could. I think it's got to be a 1-year deal situation where you go into next year and say, hey, these are the clear-cut expectations. If you don't hit those expectations, it's all love, but we got to make a move because we've got to show our fan base we actually care about winning in basketball. So that's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, and Chris, the thing about that is, Chris, I mean, listen, my patience are getting thin, you know.
Your patience. Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, the basketball product's not very good. So I don't know that there will ever be as much apathy going into a season as there will be for next basketball season. So I don't know what attendance will be like. I know they're planning on Willie B being 100%, I think. It's kind of, I would assume across the SEC, like, Georgia, Bama, A&M, they've already said it. That's the plan, right? We're all kind of gearing up towards having 100% capacity, in the fall and stuff like that. So, but I'll tell you this, like, if it is, I don't know what attendance for games will be like. Like, who's going to want to go to a South Carolina basketball game? I think the apathy is going to be there. I think the apathy is it is already there. And listen, I'm pulling for Frank. I hope we're having a totally different conversation next year, and we're talking about getting to the tournament, winning a couple games, whatever, just getting back to the NCAA tournament. But again, I've been hyping this program up for the last 3 years, like ever since the Final Four. I think I've picked this team to go to the tournament every year. I'm just not doing it going into next year, bro. I'm just not doing it. This team is probably going to stink, and I hope they don't, but there's literally nothing to indicate otherwise. The one thing I will be interested to see is if any of these guys in the transfer portal or whatever, do they come back? Do any of them want to come back? Or are they leaving because Frank's back? Heck, who knows? We don't know. But does somebody maybe like, I don't know, like a Keyshawn, does he decide to come back? Does Justin Minaya change his mind? Does Trey Hannibal change his mind? God forbid. Kusnar, whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see for sure, but I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm excited to see if he can redeem himself, or just show. I'm excited to see if he can show that this past year was a fluke. So, and it was just really COVID driven.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Chris, and the thing about this is, listen, I know Wayne Taylor's gonna state that at some point because he's not gonna fool out with another basketball hound,
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, who knows what's going to happen at this point? But no, I think again, I love Ray. I mean, you guys probably notice I don't say a whole lot of bad things about Ray Tanner. I don't really go out of my way to say fire Ray like a lot of people do. I got a lot of love for Ray on the on the baseball side of things and what he did for County baseball. And I mean, he's a legend. He's a legend in his own right. But the biggest thing is this: when you're in a position of power like that, because you're basically the CEO of the athletics department. That's what he is. That's what you are as the AD. And when you're in that position of power, you got to be a ball buster. You got to be a fundraiser. You got to be a hell of a negotiator. You got to be a hard ass a little bit. And I just don't think Ray is that. I think Ray is a people person. He wants everybody to get along. He wants everybody to like him. I mean, this is the same guy we're talking about that damn near shed a tear when Will Muschamp was fired. So, I think, Ray is a coach. He's a coach. He comes from the coach's perspective. So he is always going to give the benefit of the doubt to the coach. Bottom line, he's always going to do that. He did it with Will. I'm sure he did it with Ray in this scenario. So, or not Ray. I'm sure he did it with Frank in this scenario. And again, this is not me saying that, we should have cut ties with Frank, but I'm just not reducing the buyout. That's so absurd. That's so ridiculous. It's just another example of Ray Tanner getting pushed around at the negotiating table. Because, again, he's not a negotiator. He's a freaking baseball coach. You know what I mean? So, I hope whoever the next AD is at South Carolina, again, I love Ray, man, with all due respect to Ray, I hope we go outside of the University of South Carolina, though, and get a guy who's been an AD somewhere else. Hasn't been a coach. I don't need him to be a coach. I don't need him to have a sports background. I don't give a damn if you have a sports background. Go be the owner. Go be the general manager. Go be the CEO of this thing and make the best decisions for the athletics department. I don't even need you to be a Gamecock. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. You know what I mean? So go get somebody who actually fits the role. Not everybody's meant to be a CEO. Not everybody's meant to be a number one. Not everybody's meant to be an AD. Not everybody's meant to be a head baseball coach. And it's okay, but it doesn't make you a bad person. But everybody has a role, and Ray Tanner's just not an AD. That's just bottom line when it comes down to it. It doesn't make him that's not me, doesn't make him a bad human being, but he's just not an AD. Just bottom line, he's not an AD. I think when Ray, honestly, man, when he took this job, it was 2000, summer of 2012, whatever, about to go into 2013. Athletics was rolling across the board. I don't think he ever thought this job would be this hard, but it is. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And Chris, and think about that. And say that about it. Well, think about Wade Taylor. We just don't need an AD that's listen. You're a baseball coach. You're not for example, Chris. You gotta go outside the box. We don't need an AD to be a baseball coach. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was when he was given that job, and again, it was more of a lifetime achievement award, is what it felt like. It wasn't really because he's the most qualified guy in the room. But again, we're also talking about an athletics, an athletics department and a school that's going on the stuff. Darla Moore. I mean, I'm not shocked at any of it. Man, it's incompetency from the very top, and it's a shame. And I'll tell you who I feel bad for. Not me. I feel bad for the alumni. I really do. People that have a degree from the University of South Carolina. I'm actually like, it's interesting for me. I mean, I'm a diehard Gamecocks fan, but having that degree from that school and being an alum, it ties you to this whole situation in a way different, in a much different way. That's why, I understand why somebody who's an alumni couldn't do what I do, because I'm very quick and just frank and blunt to call things out. Whereas an alumni, they always want to see the good in their school. They always want to look at the bright side and maybe not face the reality. So that the Darla Moore thing, the incompetency within athletics, it hurts alumni a lot more to the core. And I feel for them. I really do. I feel for them. And I know there's a lot of people tuned in, a lot of people that tuned into my content that are alumni. And it's, again, of course, I'm not speaking poorly on alumni. I'm just saying, though, that I feel for them, because it has to cut even deeper for them than it does for somebody like me, who, again, I'm just a huge fan. I didn't go to the University of South Carolina. I don't have a degree from the University of South Carolina. So it doesn't quite sting. It doesn't quite cut like it does if that were the case. So I don't know, man. But anybody that's associated with the Gamecocks right now, I feel for you, because it just seems like the incompetency at the top, man. It just seems like a pure shit show. But that's just me.
Yeah,
so.
I agree, Chris. And Chris, my mom went to soccer, and she's disappointed right now, Chris. She's not happy with just the West's head.
Yeah, I mean, it's just embarrassing. And it doesn't make that degree look better. That's for sure. So, it's tough. It's tough.
Because and Chris, because my mom, she's an alum at South Carolina. She went there, and she wants what's best for South Carolina,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I totally get it, man. It's I don't know. It's tough. It's crazy, man. It's like a train wreck. It's like a car wreck. You just can't look away. So yeah. But anyways, back to the point. I mean, I'm glad Martin's back. I mean, I have no issues with it. I'm excited to see if he can turn it around, man. Who knows? I think, like I said, I think every man deserves a shot at redemption. And after having COVID twice and dealing with the layoffs and whatever, I have no issues with giving him another chance to redeem himself. The only thing I'd say is just how poorly it was handled, in the sense of, why did it take over a month to come to this conclusion? That to me is the baffling thing. But whatever, it's like I said, just add it to the long list of baffling things that have gone on at USC recently. So
yeah, because like I said, Chris, it is what it is. We got work with this guy for at least another year, right?
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. Well, hey, at least women's basketball is still playing, so we've got them to lean on next year, and baseball. Like I said, I'm more so talking about the basketball side of things. At least we got Dawn and what they're doing. So thank God.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For sure. Well, Justin,
Well,
hey,
Chris, that's all I'm saying, man.
yeah, man, I was gonna say I appreciate you calling in, man, and let's pull them through this weekend against Mizzou. So
Yeah, we got to get this W this week, Chris. You know, because this don't count loss. It was a bad loss. You know.
I mean, I think UNC's got quality players. I don't think it's like an embarrassing loss. It's Tuesday midweek. I mean, Vanderbilt lost 14-2 to Georgia last night. That's embarrassing at home. So I think we'll be all right, man. I think at minimum we'll win the series, and I think certainly sweeping the series, which I've predicted, I think is very, very doable and could happen for this team. So it should be a fun weekend. It should be a fun weekend for us all. I think we'll bounce back the right way.
Yeah, and Chris, if we can get a couple losses, we can win. We can win that two-way time. Basically, you think?
I mean, you never know, man. It's tough to predict. It's a long season, but I like this team a lot. I've liked this team since the preseason. I still like them now. I feel good about this team. So, yeah, I think this is a really, really good ball club. So,
yep. Well, Chris, that's all I say, man. Well,
all right, hey Justin, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Take care.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. Elizabeth Ballard says managing one team compared to a whole athletic department is a different animal altogether. Sometimes you should just stick to managing one thing. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Also, quick reminder, the podcast did drop this morning, episode 419. Of course, giving my official prediction, locked it in for South Carolina Mizzou. And of course, it's funny, I talked about the Frank Martin stuff on the podcast and kind of gave, we all knew the meeting was today, this morning, but just sort of gave my prediction for what I thought was going to happen. And sure enough, he got the extension. I thought they would lower the buyout, but either way, Frank Martin is back. Frank Martin is back. So, again, there's some people that are torn on it that aren't all that thrilled. I like I said, I'm fine with it, guys. I told you guys either way, I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. I look forward to Frank Martin, getting his shot at redemption, and we'll just kind of see what happens, man. We'll kind of see what happens. So, Tanner Lamb, pulling for Frank to succeed, but if not, I'm telling you, we need to go get Greg Marshall. I know he has baggage, but it's been his dream job since he was at Winthrop. He's a Carolina guy. Sometimes it is about the fits. Phil Harris says, where's Courtney Washington to tell us we don't know basketball? Kyle, do you think we extended him right now because of the candidates available right now? I think we extended him because, I hope we extended him because we feel like he is the answer. Is that 100% reason why we extended him, though? I doubt it. It's probably because we didn't want to pay the buyout, and he wasn't taking another job. So what choice do you have? And you can't bring him back under a 2-year deal. So, But again, in case you missed the news, Frank Martin is officially back. Frank Martin is officially back as Gamecocks head coach. By the way, real quick, RIP, man, seriously, to DMX. Literally just passed away. I just saw it on Twitter. RIP to the legend, man. Life is very fragile and just wild to see that. Obviously he had been on life support and everything and fighting for his life or whatever, but passed away this morning. So died at the age of 50. That's not old, bro. That's not old at all. So RIP to a legend for sure. I know a lot of us probably grew up. I wasn't like a diehard DMX fan or anything, but I'm sure a lot of us grew up on his music, listening to his music. And, it's wild, dude. Just, again, life is very fragile, man. Don't take a day for granted, seriously. And if you're not, take care of your health, man. Honestly. Take care of your health. It's wild. Rhett Godbolt says, what a cluster. What do you expect from Carolina? I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, like I said, I'm not upset or disappointed he's back. I'm really not. I mean, I'm more than fine with it. I mean, you know, just I'm glad the decision it's finally done. I'm glad it's finally over with. But okay, so now we know he's back. All right, now we know he's back, right? We know Frank Martin's back. Now I ask you all, I'd love to get an answer. I ask you all, minimum expectation, what should be the plan going into year 10? Do you agree with what I've said, that minimum expectation, you make the NCAA tournament, and if you miss it, you part ways, you get rid of him, you go get a new head coach? Or do you disagree with that? Like, what are the expectations for year 10 for you? Because obviously we got to see some type of progress. I mean, there's no question. You can't have another trash season and just be like, okay, it's cool, the program's whatever. What do you want to see in year 10? What's the minimum expectation for you to bring Martin back the following year? Because, again, of course, he's on the hot seat. There's no doubt. He's going to be on the hot seat this year. He's already on the hot seat right now. I ask you guys, the fans, what's the minimum expectation? What are you expecting from year 10 from Frank Martin? What does he have to do in your mind? What does he have to do to keep his job? Because that's what the entire year, that's what the entire storyline of next season is going to be about, is Frank Martin doing what he has to do to keep his job. Bottom line. Bottom line. So, Elizabeth Ballard says, I think we need to make the tourney. And if not, thanks, we appreciate it, but it's time to part ways. Yeah, I agree with you 110%. I just think that, again, as a fan, maybe it's unfair, but for me, if you didn't make the tournament, you didn't have a good year. I don't care what the stats say, and you can talk about your SEC record and all. Like, if you didn't make the tournament, you did not have a good year. You just flat out didn't. You don't have to be a great team to make the tournament. You got to be a little better than average, and you have a shot to get in, you know? So, I mean, by the way, Masters on the TV right now. That's why if you see me looking over there, following along with Phil, Scotty Scheffler, that group, I've got the featured groups on. So, yeah, but again, and that's probably a piece of content I'll make here shortly, where I'd just love to ask fans, okay, he's back. What are the expectations going into next season? Because that's what the question turns to, because we all know he's on the hot seat. Bottom line. Bottom line. Joshua Jenkins, will Braylon be back? You're talking about Braylon Wimmer. I don't know yet. I think that's honestly something we won't really know till game time. I have no idea. So. But yeah, that to me is what the question turns into, is what does Frank Martin have to do to keep his job after next season? Like, what's the, there's actually a very surprisingly, like a very large portion of the fan base that wanted him fired, which, I mean, again, is like, whatever. I mean, you feel how you feel on it. And I would have been fine either way. Elizabeth Ballard, no, the lineup doesn't get posted till like 2 hours before first pitch. They don't play till 7:00 tonight. So no, they won't. Carolina won't release the lineup until about 5:00 at the earliest. So yeah, Mark Kingston don't submit his lineup card for a while. Let's see. Tanner Land, do you consider NIT the tournament? LOL. That would be tops for next year. No, I do not. No, the NIT is not the goal. Is the NIT the goal? No. I just think, man, again, you're bringing him back, going into year 10, you have to make that has to be the goal. That has to be the goal. It just has to be. Because if it's not, and you bring him back again, what are we doing? Like, honestly, like, what are we doing? And I'll tell you this, guys, right now. If you bring him back and you didn't make the tournament, as soon as it's known we're going to miss the tournament, I am going to be a fire Frank Martin guy. Bottom line. I mean, I'll gladly just come out and say that and admit it. So, like I said, I don't give a damn how it sounds. I guess that's selfishly one thing I'm excited about is, him coming back. If he doesn't meet expectations, I get to be the Fire Frank Martin guy. Yippee. Just can't wait for that. Oh, geez. Jeez. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Man, this show is flying by today. It's already 12:40. I feel like we just went live, honestly. You know what's funny, guys? I have not cut on my air yet because it's been like really nice. It's starting to warm up. I'm going to have to cut the AC on because I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, it's kind of warm in here. Like, I'm going to have to cut that daggum AC on. But again, guys, taking your questions. Like I said, in case you missed it, and if you did, shame on you. But the podcast this morning that dropped, episode 419, of course, I gave my prediction for this weekend against Mizzou. I've got the Gamecocks getting the sweep. I think this is a team that will come out, locked in, ready to go, ready to play their best baseball. And again, I like the matchup a lot. South Carolina hitters at home against the Missouri pitching staff that struggled mightily this year, the 7.15 ERA. I think our hitters will take advantage. I think they'll swing it well all weekend. I think Thomas Farr does get his first SEC win of the season tonight. Again, it's a Missouri lineup that's hitting 242. They did take 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M last weekend in College Station, which I don't think A&M's all that great or anything. But, it's the SEC. There's no weekends off. You can't roll into this weekend saying, oh, they just suck and we're going to blow them out. But this is definitely a series you should feel good about. I would say. I think this is a series you should feel really good about. I think at minimum the Gamecocks will win 2 out of 3. And I think sweeping is very much a possibility on your home field. So, Joshua Jenkins, just so people know, if you get the ESPN app on your device, it's easy to watch the game tonight. 7 p.m. first pitch, but I think they might move it up. I know Ray Tanner and Kingston myself. Why would they move it up? There's literally no weather in the forecast tonight. Please help me explain why they would move this game up. Unless I'm looking at the wrong forecast. Yeah, I mean, it's literally 10% chance of rain all day. I don't see any way they're moving it up. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be kind of warm this weekend. Might have to break out the first tank of the year. First tank of the season. It's almost tank season. It really is. It really is almost tank season. Elizabeth Ballard, Chris, you excited about the spring game? What kind of question is that? Of course I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm pumped. No, I'm definitely pumped. I don't, I'll say this. I don't let myself get over excited about, I'm excited for the spring game. I really am. But I don't overreact to things from spring ball. We're 6 months away from kickoff. You know what I mean? It's such we've got so long for kickoff, and just because a guy balls out in the spring game, that doesn't mean really anything that he's going to do anything, this season. But yeah, no, I'm excited. There's definitely, I'm definitely excited, to see how things operate and run under Shane Beamer. I'm excited to see all the new guys. I mean, there's a lot of things to be excited about, with the new coaching staff and everything going on. So no, I'm pumped for sure. And obviously selfishly from the content side of things. I mean, it's great content. I'll be in the building. I'll be in the stadium. So I'm certainly pumped and excited for that. I think all Gamecock fans are. I mean, why would you not be excited for the spring game? It's spring football. You got to love that. Got to love that. Joseph, see Philly bring out the tank tops. Yes. Sun's out, guns out, baby. Let's go. Big tank guy over here. Big tank guy. You got to love it. You got to love it. Again, guys, questions, comments, calls. Frank Martin is back. Frank Martin, capable of submission. Like I said, we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. 843-790-3377. What do you think? Frank Martin is back as head coach. Frank Martin is back as your head coach. All the comments on Instagram. People are so pissed. Like the people who didn't want him back are just like they're very passionate about it. They didn't want him back. Tyrell Campbell Sr., he has a whole damn team to rebuild. Yeah, he does. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Again, that's why I said if I was Frank, I would have walked away. How is this a good situation for you? Because you can sit here and say, oh, we just needed to practice more. Bro, you won 6 games. You just weren't good. Bottom line, you just were not good. So I don't know, man. Well, I hope I'm wrong. We'll see, man. I mean, hey, when our team has gotten to practice and, you know, whatever, I mean, we didn't make the tournament those years either. So, you know, and again, like I said, maybe it's harsh to some of you, but making the tournament is literally the only thing that matters. It's literally the only thing that matters. If you don't make the tournament, just whatever, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, guys, just scrolling through Twitter. Greg Bedinger says, understatement, we sucked. Yeah, no, good point. No, good point. And like I said, the question turns now to this. I ask you all, what are the minimum expectations for this upcoming basketball season that will bring Frank Martin back the next year? What are the minimum expectations? What does he have to do in your mind? Because, again, I say NCAA tournament. Maybe some of you have a differing opinion. I'd love to know. Joshua Jenkins, if Tennessee loses at least 2 to Florida, Carolina should be second in the East behind Vandy. Yeah, that seems like that's how the standings would shake out. I mean, hey, certainly Vandy losing helps us out. I mean, it helps everybody out. You know what I mean? Everybody's chasing Vanderbilt right now. So I tell you what, that shocked me. I mean, that result shocked me of Georgia just whooping up on Vandy last night. And if you missed it, Georgia beat Vandy 14-2. Incredible. Phil, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's no way Phil's not calling in today. I mean, he's not on a day like today with the news that's dropped today. There's no way.
Man. You know, it's just I just wanted to comment real quick about the narrative about Tanner being a bad AD and that he was a baseball coach and, you know, it seems like it fell in his lap or whatever. But here's the thing is, when that hire took place, I remember whether it was USC or, you know, whoever it was, they kind of circled the wagons because I'm sure people were looking at the hire like, did they just hire their baseball coach? That's embarrassing as the AD. I remember hearing multiple times that, oh, this was Ray Tanner. This was always in his plan to become an athletic director,
Right.
you know, later in life. Like he had trained and that was a goal of his to become the athletic director. So it's not like he just fell into the position.
Right.
It was his goal and the position that opened up. He had a ton of success in baseball and was probably ready to move on or thought this would be the ideal time to become the AD. So, you know, to say that he didn't have any knowledge about the position or something like that, or to, you know, allude to that is probably false because he had, you know, for a period of time, he wanted that to be his end game, you know, end goal, essentially, before retirement.
Right.
Is to take over a position within the AD's office as the AD. So I just think it's a weird narrative that you're hearing right now. It's like, oh, I mean, because things have gone kind of poorly in certain areas that, oh, he didn't. He had no business being the AD, you know. It's just he's just a baseball coach.
Well, and that's why. That's why, and not to cut you off, that's why you don't hear me saying fire Ray Tanner, because I think the hard thing about coming at Ray for his job is like 99% of people don't even really know what an AD does on a day-to-day basis. So the only way to judge an AD is, are your teams winning? And do you have good coaches? I mean, or do you feel like you have good coaches? And I mean, the biggest
Right.
knock on Tanner is Muschamp, and now this thing with Martin, I guess. But and then I guess some people hold him obviously responsible for Holbrook or whatever. I mean, but yeah, the
Right.
what's tough, I think, for Tanner and for again, because most fans, you know, they're not going to say, "Oh, he didn't schedule well enough, so he should be fired." Like, no, we don't. Nobody really knows the inner workings of his position day in, day out. But it's like he took over as AD during such a successful run in South Carolina athletics history, not just football, not just baseball, like all of the athletics. It seemed like were, you know, and even the ones that weren't, you know, women's basketball, I think had just hired Dawn and Frank maybe had just gotten there. So it's like there was a lot of positive momentum. And it's like since then, have things gotten better or worse? And that's kind of how people look at it. Unfortunately, you know, fairly or unfairly. I mean, fairly or unfairly. So, no, but you're definitely right. I mean, the AD position was something that he wanted. I mean, I've talked to guys, again, that played for him that, you know, were on the 12 team when he retired. And they were like, yeah, he just, you know, Tanner. And I think it was even Holbrook told me, you know, when I talked to Holbrook, he just said, you know, Coach Tanner just felt like he'd accomplished everything. You know, I mean, he'd accomplished everything he could at South Carolina. And he was just ready for a new, you know, people that, you know, people wonder and ask themselves, you know, people that are really successful, that have, you know, a lot of money, they're really wealthy. Like I've heard people say, like, why wouldn't you just stop and buy an island and quit? It's like those people aren't wired that way. They're always looking for the next challenge. So for Tanner, the next challenge was being the AD. And the only thing I would just say is I just think that from what I've heard from people, again, guys that played for him that I won't name, that say, you know, Tanner truly is a people pleaser. He wants everybody to get along. Like, I just don't know if he's cut out to be. And I think because we've been so bad with like the NCAA too. Like, does he get kind of walked on in the conversation? Does he get, you know what I'm saying? That's the only concern I have with it. But, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I'm a Tanner guy and love him for, you know, he's a legend to me. He's a Hall of Famer. He should have a statue no matter what. But I don't know. I just don't know if maybe the AD position wasn't a little more daunting than probably what he expected, because he just took over at such a great time. And I mean, hey, there's some things that happened during his tenure that were completely out of his control. Steve Spurrier quitting recruiting, that is not in his control. That just happened. There's nothing he could have done about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting for sure, but yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to judge his overall tenure, I mean, it's definitely not an A+ grade.
Right.
But I just wanted to be clear about the fact that, you know, he wasn't just asked and it came up to him as like some sort of shock where he was like, gee, I don't know anything about this position. I guess I'll just do it because they want me to. Right. That was not at all what happened. It was a calculated move on his part as something that he wanted to do well before they asked him to become the AD. It is something that he, you know, you might want to say he even positioned himself for that opportunity to become the AD because he wanted to be the AD. So just, you know, just wanted to make sure everybody's clear on that. Moving on to the next thing, hope we beat Mizzou all 3 games this weekend. It seems like we definitely could. Yeah. I mean, baseball is weird and random, but we really need to be taking 3 because we got some real heavy hitters coming up in the next couple of weeks. Yeah,
you're after this weekend. After this weekend, you're at LSU, Arkansas at home, at Ole Miss, Mississippi State at home. And if you want to know the rankings of those teams, LSU has struggled. But anytime you got to go to Baton Rouge, that's not easy. But right now the rankings are as follows for the following 3 series. Again, Arkansas at home, they're number 2 in the country. At Ole Miss, they're number 3 in the country. And Mississippi State at home, they're number 5 in the country. So, yeah, you need to this is a weekend where it's like I said on the podcast, it's like, you know, you're never going to hear me complain if you take 2 out of 3. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't care who you're playing. But it's like you kind of need to take advantage when you're playing a team like Mizzou at home. Right. You just do. So, yeah, the gauntlet's upcoming, man. It's that gauntlet is right there with the gauntlet you had a Texas, Florida, Vandy. I mean, it's right there with it. So,
sure. Yeah, I got to get it done some way or another.
Yeah.
So definitely need to take all 3 this weekend because again, you've got a bunch of killers coming up on the schedule soon.
Yeah.
Final thing with the Rugby Up show, you know, as I told you previously, the Free Jacks are off this weekend. Trying to get some training and recovery going on with them. Need to work on some things to make sure that they're coming out of this bye week a better team. But in terms of who's playing on TV, on Saturday, April the 10th,
at 10 p.m. Eastern, or excuse me, 8 p.m. Eastern time on FS2. We've got the San Diego Legion visiting the Houston Sabre Cats. Again, the Houston lost the past 2 games. They didn't score a single try, not a single point. I think the goal differential there was like 50-something to 0 in the past 3 games. So those fans, I'm sure, are raising all kind of hell because that team has not been very good since they opened up that rugby-specific stadium down there in Houston. So they deserve better for sure, those fans down there. And then we've got a game on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time on CBS Sports Network. Rugby United New York, which is the worst name in the history. Well, there's actually some really bad names in rugby for the USA Major League Rugby, but Rugby United New York is pretty awful.
Right.
Against Rugby ATL, which is Atlanta, Atlanta at 3 p.m. CBS Sports Network on Sunday.
Very good. No comment on the Frank Martin thing.
I mean, what do you expect?
I guess you've already said your piece on it. I figured that's why you were calling, honestly.
I mean, to be honest with you, it ultimately comes down to the administration doesn't care about basketball fans because they don't think they have any, and they don't care about the basketball program with this move. I mean, I don't know how else you could really explain it.
Right.
Is if you're a Carolina men's basketball fan, you should feel marginalized because you are by this school. They don't care. They don't care about you.
And so I asked the question earlier. I think I already know your answer though, but you're definitely on board with what I said of, okay, so he's back. Now what? It's this upcoming season. Like I don't want to hear any excuses about the roster or turnover. Like if you don't make the tournament, he should 110% be gone. No questions asked.
Frank Martin has to pull the best coaching job out of his ass this coming season to make the postseason.
I mean, I agree with you on that.
The NIT.
I agree with that.
About the NCAA tournament. They let in the best 64 teams.
Right.
So the best 64. If we can't find our way somewhere into that, he doesn't deserve to be here anymore.
Right.
Because it would be one time out of 10 years. Here's the thing: is like the defenders of Frank Martin. They never explain why he continues to deserve a job with going this many years without being in the tournament.
Right.
Here's the thing: is like again, clearly the administration doesn't care about men's basketball, but if you're a fan, the minimum expectation of your team should be we should make it into the postseason somehow, some way. Right. Because otherwise, why are we playing any games to begin with? If we're not in contention to win some type of trophy, why are we even doing this? Period. Point blank.
Yeah. You show up to the yard to win, man. Bottom line. If you're not doing that, it's just kind of why are you showing up? So, yep. I agree.
So it's sad and it's sickening that, they don't care about men's basketball, but it is what it is. I hope Frank the best. This is not me saying I don't like Frank. I like him as a coach.
No, I know you. I know you love Frank. Honestly, trust me. I know you love Frank.
I like him as a person, but I mean, ultimately, if you can't get it done, then you got to go. That's the bottom line.
Yep, that's a fact. That's it.
Yeah. There's no way that the powerhouses in basketball, men's basketball, would ever put up with anything like this.
No.
So, it needs to be a switch that is flipped with our fan base. We should, in every major sport, be expecting our teams to be in the postseason one way or the other.
Yeah.
And if we don't have that mentality, nothing is ever going to change.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Hit the nail on the head. Great way to go into the weekend. Phil, I appreciate it as always, man. Thank you.
Go Cox.
Go Cox. Appreciate it, brother. Great way to end it. What a Friday, man. Like I said, this show flew by. I guess when your time flies when you're having fun. But, hey, great stuff on a Friday, guys. I will be at the Friday and Saturday games this weekend. South Carolina taking on the Missouri Tigers. So if you're at Founders Park, say what's up, holler. I'll be out there. Quick update content-wise. So, guys, I actually am Sunday. I will not be at the South Carolina Missouri game because I am going to Atlanta. Good buddy of mine. We're going to the Braves game, Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday. So what that means, we'll still have podcasts as normal on Monday, all that good stuff, but no Daily Crow on Monday because obviously I'll be in the car on the way back home, all that good stuff, whatever. So wanted to update you guys on that. No Daily Crow on Monday, But picking it back up on Tuesday, we'll go as normal, noon to 1. But really excited, man. I haven't seen the new stadium or anything like that, and to get to go watch the Braves. I haven't been to a Braves game in, God, I mean, it's been 7 years. Literally 2014 was the last time I got to go. So, again, really excited for that. But, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for a fantastic week, another successful week, the Spurs Up Show and the Daily Crow and everything else, guys. Go check out the podcast if you haven't. And like I said, stay tuned to all the content. Stay tuned to everything. Like I said, Daily Crow will return Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, till then, go Cox, beat Mizzou, and welcome back, Frank. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.